the visible phallus, the visible ego in the sky, shining brighter than any star in the sky. The sun God, the Son of God, the life-breathing force, the ever-existent glow. Ra, the one-eyed God. Beautiful. Once it reaches that point where it crosses the horizon and you have to look up at it, there's no more sun gazing after that point. Now you just let it hit your third eye. You get what I'm saying? Once it passes that horizon and you have to move your head up, there's no more looking at it. We're out here. We got out of the bed because we had some great, incredible thoughts to take care of. Yeah, we started grounding and everything. Like, I didn't think I even had this in mind, but you know, we still got out. We got our electrolyte water here, you know.
One puff, one draw, freeze the mind.
Time is precious. Life is not just the passing of time. Life is not just the passing of time. Life is a collection of experiences, their frequency and their intensity. Life is not just watching the clock tick away. Life is a collection of experiences, their intensity, their frequency. When my friend Mark died at age 44, someone says, that's young to die. But what if he lived 4 lifetimes in one? It might not be too young. Whatever the span of your life turns out to be, here's what you want to fill it up with: experiences and the intensity of those experiences. But now let's talk about the management of time. Here's the first one. Ignore the subject. I mean, that's good advice. Don't let anything overly bug you. Because remember now, you don't have to do anything. Someone says, well, I got to get a handle on my time. The answer is no, you don't. If you want to let it all go, you can let it all go. I mean, this is good advice. Somebody says, you ought, you ought, you ought. Jot this down. Ignore all the you oughts or you should. Only if they're giving general information. We should. It's better to say, if you're teaching, we should. Not you should, we should. Then you let me listen in without it being too confrontational. If everyone did this, see, that'd be great. And then you give a person a chance to choose to do it or not to do it. But when you start the you ought, now see, if I don't, now see, we got some tension and maybe some problems. So you oughts seem to always create problems. Because this is personal dignity. And you don't want to destroy someone's dignity by doing all the oughts and they feel reluctant to do it. Now we've got problems. So if you want to, just ignore this subject on time management. Now here's the next one. Step down to something easier. The guy's in sales and he says, oh, I want to own the company. Finally owns the company. Now he's got no time to play golf. He said, when I was in sales, I was making big money playing golf 3 days a week. Heck with this owning something. Heck with managing. My life was never my own after I started to manage. I'm going back to sales. See, this is the key. If you're getting too pressed, you might consider stepping down to something with a little easier time pressure. Little girl says to her mother, Daddy comes home, brings his briefcase and pats me on the head and says hello, disappears and works on his papers. How come my daddy doesn't play with me? And her mother said, look, your daddy loves you very much, but he's so busy at work, he can't get it all done, he has to bring it home. He loves you, but that's why he can't play with you. And the little girl said, why don't they just put him in a slower group? So, jot this down now. If you don't have time for your kids, you might consider joining a slower group. Remember when I said some things I went for cost me too much? So reconsider. Next key to time management, and that's work longer and harder. But see, there's a limit to that. I almost lost my health the first year. I went so crazy about personal development and achievement. I just went bonkers. You know, I told you I was skinny, but the end of that first year, I was a walking shadow. And then it suddenly occurred to me, what if I got rich and too ill to spend it? I mean, that was a shocker. So I started developing a little more reasonable, because I said, if 12 hours won't do it, I'll work 14. If that won't do it, I'll work 18. I mean, how many hours it takes. And sure enough, it cost me too much. So see, working longer and harder for some might be appropriate. You know, if you're just sitting around not doing that much, this might be good, work longer and harder. But you can only work so hard. Here's the key, not to work harder, but smarter. When you've worked as hard as you can, doing the best you can in terms of physical output in the time, reasonable time. Now here's the ultimate in the management of time, and that is you simply become more skillful. When I first got into sales, you know, I was around people that could get, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. And when I first started, I could only get 1 out of 10. But here's what I did. I worked around the clock. So
Little things, learning to appreciate those little things that I didn't appreciate doing growing up. You know, if I'm gonna be open to paying somebody to clean my house, I should be able to clean it for myself, right? No hate, no discontent, no feeling of discomfort, no urgency. You know, just taking your time, cleaning what needs to be cleaned. You don't need to go all anal about it, cleaning the fucking borders of your windows. Maybe you pick one day to do all that, to be a little anal, to get into the little crevices, like when you clean your ass, when you wipe your ass, rather than just pulling your pants back up, with a half wiped ass, half shitty underwears. Or to be walking around with shitty underwears, making your girlfriend or your wife or your maid or your nanny or whoever the fuck it is wash your dirty underwears full of shit, You should be able to do it for yourself in such a way, man, that when you do it for others, it's the same way. And that you're also, when you pay others, you do it with appreciation, not with a feeling of griminess towards money, as if money is not going to come back to you. You know what I'm saying? I want, I desire, I visualize, I expect, I feel I deserve so many riches out of life, because they are mine. They are here for me, just as I am here for it, that I'm open. Thankfully, I've had the, humility to, I guess, humble myself, and the pride to see, why my mother did what she did, why fathers do what they do, why fathers and mothers are supposed to behave and be and act and conduct themselves in the way that they're supposed to, and why so much love and so much appreciation and so much attention and, so much patience and reciprocity and all this good stuff, all this hope, all this faith, all this love, all this grace, why it is missing in the world is because we don't take any of that in ourselves and how we do the little things. This is probably the second time this month or the second time this year that I do something like this where it comes out of me. I've probably done it more than once, but this is the second time this year that I actually feel conscious, this is dope, this is what life is about, that I have this clarity, maybe because I've been fasting off the weed a little more, but it's it's the little things that matter, we want all these riches, all this wealth, all this power, but we don't even take the time, the patience, to see why it is it that we have all these yearnings, desires for, for sex, for food, for money, for fame, for attention, to influence, to impact, to change in a positive way. What is this? What is this energy? Why do I feel like doing nothing at the same time? Why do I just want to sit here and smoke all day and just fucking watch TV and distract myself and, numb myself, whether it is with cigarettes? Why am I so anxious? And it's just these little things that we don't do, that we don't take the time to do. And to appreciate. You know, a lot of people, they smoke consciously. They do a lot of things conscious. They may even drink consciously. They create content, music, whatever, write books, operas, soap operas, poetry, all types of stuff on all these different types of substances. And they have done it for thousands of years. And some of us have even been able to control them in such a way that we choose when we do them. You get what I'm saying? We've been able to master ourselves in such a way that we choose when we entertain certain things. You know, we choose when to say yay and when to say nay, when to, you know, when to feel proud and self-validated, and when to humble yourself and feel, you know, and accept the grace that you know, that you just gotta take everything that comes to you in life with. You know, because I mean, the sun ain't asking for much. It comes out every day. You know, if it's cloudy, so be it. The rain comes and it, you know, it pours on the earth, and the earth doesn't feel some type of way. It just takes it in, it appreciates it, you know, and it allows the rain to revitalize, to re-electrify those parts of itself that were maybe dried out, hollowed, you know, feeling unappreciated from the other parts of itself. And it like, you know, it rebounds, you know, just like, you know, when ice freezes, it becomes like a block, like a piece of earth that you can walk upon. Life is crazy. All right, life is crazy. It is beautiful. And yeah, I hope, you know, this message hits where it's supposed to hit, and it has to affect the impact, the influence, and the change that it is supposed to have. You know, may it destroy and create. You know what I'm saying? May it humble and also uplift and make you feel proud and happy to be alive. You know, because it is a blessing. It is a wonderful blessing. All right, you have a blessed rest of your Saturn's day. Enjoy this new moon, whatever. I guess it is the new moon era. So enjoy that. You know, this is your life. This is reality. God is life. Life is good. God is good. God is you. Have a blessed, wonderful Saturday. One. Love ya.
Once you decide that your present situation is only temporary, once you decide to get back on your feet and make your mark, the world doesn't care which choice you make, to stop here or to go on. The world doesn't really care. So you have to. You have to care. In your own enlightened self-interest, give a run at adventure. Keep your eyes firmly on the achievement, on your ambition, and not merely existence and self-pity. Make a commitment to excellence. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Success is not something you pursue. What you pursue usually eludes you like a butterfly, something you go after that you can't catch. Success is something you attract like a magnet by the person you become. To attract attractive people, we've talked about this before,